Hey everybody, it's Dive Girl Deb. Well, I've been out puttering today, which is good. I've been trying to spray my fruit trees and my machines are not cooperating. I couldn't get my hose in sprayer to work. And so then I went and got my pressure washer out and I couldn't get it to work just right either. But I think I got them fixed now. Because I don't really give a shit what a groundhog says. I can tell you we're going to have an early spring. And I need to get on these fruit trees so that I don't have problems and lose all my blossoms. I tend to be late at this. And so the fact that I'm doing it like before Valentine's Day is a miracle in itself. Because I'm usually in March and I'm spraying, and I really need to start earlier. But my fruit trees are my plum and my apricots out front are just getting ready to like pop. The buds are swelling up. They haven't shown anything yet, but I did get some spray on them today, and I think I have fixed my problem. But I've also purchased a new hose end sprayer because the one I've had for like 20 years is crap now. Bye-bye. And I've got I made some adjustments on my power washer because it has a little soap dispenser and I can use that to spray the trees with. So anyway, so I think I got those fixed. But I'm also working on Volkswagen stuff. And check this out. So here's the skate that the bug is going to move in on, right? I've got the dollies all put together here and screwed. And I was wondering, like, how am I going to block these up and make sure they stay in place? Well, I found a way, and I decided to just screw them in. So I have drilled holes on these. And look, car will not fall off. And can't pull these out right now because I locked them in place. So these will come up right into the car, lower the jack down, and she'll be on the skates. Yoo-hoo! That makes me happy. Figured out a nice solution. So now I can unscrew them and I can move them right or left on that board to meet up with the axle. So they'll just drop. The axle will just drop right in here or frame on the car. And then when I know where they're going to be placed, then I can also unscrew this board and move it as I need to. And there's the other one over here. So I'm going to take you inside and we're going to sit down on the couch and I'm going to show you how I was working on getting those things ready. And for all of you wondering, yes, many times my projects are done in the house, and that's because the lighting's better during the winter months and it's warmer and I'm more inclined to want to work in there. And you know, like all my tools are like right here. Oh, speaking of tools, you guys might remember that I was having trouble with my Bosch Coil Nailer that I'm going to use on the fence, and I started nailing some of that new fence board up, and it was too high a pressure, and then I found out that the bumper inside was just disintegrated and my seals were bad because I couldn't get that plunger to retract. Didn't matter how much oil I put on it, it wasn't going to work. So I ordered a kit. Now there's two of them, one for the main part of the nailer, and then there's one for the trigger mechanism. So I got both of them coming. So I got it all cleaned up. Look how nice and clean and pretty. Woohoo! And so they got washed up, tidied up. Looks really good, nice and clean. I mean, it's still a worn machine at the end of the day. This doesn't have any grease on it yet. I did put a little clear coat on there because it's just going to look good next to what I also did. But look at my parts are all cleaned up real nice. I had about this much paint left in a rattle can, and it was this hammer finish in silver, and this, you'll remember, was yellow, and I'm not a big fan of yellow. So I had just enough to spray this dude down with some hammer finish. And because the paint was flaking off and there's a little bit of corrosion and there was a lot of like scrapes and bumps and stuff. And I got it all cleaned up, and look at this. We're silver now. And you can't tell that there's any dents and scraps and scrapes because of this hammer finish. It didn't cover everything totally, but you know, when you see a run like that, you don't worry about it with this paint because it kind of matches. But I did get this all cleaned up. You can look inside there and see. So yeah, that cleaned up really nice. It took a lot to get that clean. In fact, I ended up going in there with Q-tips and daubing out all the junk. And there might be some little bits in there left, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. And got all these pieces and parts washed up really nice. Everything's ready to go. So when those new kits come, I'll get this thing rebuilt. And it'll be silver. Awesome, I like it. Much better than yellow. But of course, what's even much better is that Nailer is going to just rock and roll now because it's going to have all new seals. So, yeah, that's awesome. I like it when things work right. So I have these drawers that I'm going to use in the pantry. Uh-oh. No big deal. I just spilled an entire cup of coffee on the floor. But I drink black coffee, so no sugar, no creamer. And it was not like really strong coffee, but it tasted really good. All right, back to these jack stands. They're not going to finish themselves, even though like gravity still works. All right, so what I did is I took this drawer because I thought, well, it's a great way to keep everything contained in the mess because I like to work in the house. And I brought out a magnet and put it in here to catch the metal bits. And I've got a block of wood, is a little backer board, and this tray or drawer really is so good because you kind of lock it in there. But so I'm going to stick it. What I did is I come up about like 1/3. If you take this line and you divide it to like this is 1/3 the top, so that's where I've been drilling in all the corners. So let's finish this last one. That's through. All right, now because I drilled from the back, you're gonna have little splinters and stuff. And the thing is that we still can't quite get this screw to go right down into where we want to go because it doesn't have a good enough angle. I mean, it just needs a little bit of help there. So we're gonna oversize these a skosh. Add that angle. Widen it out a little bit. So much better. Less stress on the screws. Okay, those are done. And then I took the screws. You can take a file too. Get all those little shards off. A screw cleans them up pretty good when you get the holes that are gnarly like that. I do have a file. Alright, so those have a really nice angle. Look at that. See? Okay, good. Now, we need to add this top part. And you'll notice it's got little ratchety bits. And so the ratchety bits goes towards your brake on this side because they fit right. See this little gate in there? It fits right inside of there. So you want this to go here. And that is so that the ratchet comes up and it'll lock, right? Because if you did it backwards, it wouldn't lock at all. Now the other thing is that on these new jack stands, you gotta read the directions. Read the directions. So anyway, so you need to, after you put this piece in, you have to strike this over this little tab and retain it. And what that little tab will do is it'll pop into the slot so that you won't be able to lift it out beyond that scope. Isn't that great? So I got one more of these to do. out and do that one next. I can show it to you really quick what I did on the other one. Now you can see this one, I already struck it over. See how it's pushed in? And so you can't lift this out, okay? Which means, like, if you're walking around, you won't drop that on your toe. That's kind of good, don't you think? So yeah, take these guys right here and depending on your manufacturer, read your instructions. You strike that in really hard and put a little dent in it. Not too much because it'll bind. And that way you're ready to go. And so these are ready to be added. This one is ready to be added to the skate. And I've got to strike that other one. Let's go do that right now. And check this out. The reason I put this inside of a plastic bag is that I can take the magnet out, and then all of my waste will go right into the trash. See? Oops. That one's not going to go with me. There we go. And my magnet is nice and clean now, right? Ready to go and get put back in its little bag for another use. Okay, last one. So all I did was just kind of span it across my toolbox here, and this was used in a air jack. Anyway, it's left over. So I grab my big old hammer, and I'm just going to strike that dude and bend it down a little bit. All this new paint, it's very slippery. I gotta go long ways first here. Just get a little angle. One more will probably be good. You go down there, just like that. Very good. See? Cannot come out. What a great trick. All right, I've got some screws here ready to go. These are some old magnets that I've got out of something, and I just love magnets. They're great for this kind of stuff. But I've got 4 screws here set aside. Some big Phillips heads that I have. So putting those on everything. And I'm putting the handles outside so that they can be adjusted, right? And then I will just go and screw on those little guys. And I don't know that this is where it's going to go yet, but I'm just going to put it on and have it positioned there. Lovely. Isn't it so lovely? There we go. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to leave them long term, but this is going to work out really nice. Let's push it back. Just like that. I'm so glad I thought of this. It's much easier to be able to move this around, and I'll have all 4 corners screwed down eventually. Yeah. Lovely. That is very sound. So I got 2 on the front now and 2 on the back. So those are ready to go under the car. I have to move stuff on that wall around so that I can move this stuff around a little bit. So when it's rainy and nasty outside, I'll do this. I'll work on this. But I got that problem solved.